It's one thing you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, somebody helped him get up there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And if you see a person that's successful, they've been through some dookie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same as impossible a turtle to get up there by himself as somebody to get where he's got. John Maxwell, I learned that from him. You think he ain't never had a problem in his life. Ooh, stuff he's been through. Hello, everyone. Andy Albright here, as you know. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Chris Rice and getting to know him and Kaulig Racing. He's has a very successful team, so I look forward to chatting with you and hearing all about your team and how you met Spencer.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let me tell you how this kind of went down on my end.
Mm-hmm.
My social media girl asked me, she said, hey, we got a race car person for you to interview. I said, I don't know about race car. I just turn left. I don't know. So then Matt calls me, says, hey, so that guy that recognized your tail number at Spencer would like to talk to you. I said, I can't wait to talk to that guy. Man, we need to meet. We need to get together.
Yep.
And then they're like, it's the same person.
So that's a funny story because I know nothing about insurance, right? And so
the boringest subject on earth.
What you make it exciting.
Yeah.
So and I was telling you, Mac and all of them when we were talking, you and I are a lot alike. You say you're 58, but you're really not. You're much younger, and we think the same way. I think this way big time, but I watch you and I watch what you say and I see how you say it, and I use a lot of that when I talk to my people because of the values you have, the way you build your teams and stuff like that. So you don't know racing, but you've helped in racing, and you don't even realize it. And I did when I met your son. It was kind of hilarious the day I met him. I mean, it was actually really funny because I live in Elon because I met my wife here. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows racing, right? They didn't know me for a long time. I had no idea what I did.
You were not famous.
Not famous at all. Didn't nobody know me. And they can tell you, we walked through your building, amazing building, by the way, and one of the girls was just so excited. She knew we've won the Dash for Cash, $100,000, 2 weeks in a row, and she was jumping up and down, and she was just so excited. And it's that's what you want out of people, right? You want them to love you that much and care for you. So my slogan is smile, make somebody smile each and every day. And if I can make somebody smile each and every day through NASCAR, through racing, I've done my job. But
I love that. I love that.
That's funny. I love to talk to him.
So I'd like to talk to that guy.
Yeah,
the one that knows me.
Yeah, that knows me. I want to talk to him. That saying. So I seen your plane. I know Perry Nichols.
Okay.
Very well, and I had flown with Perry Nichols, and you know who I'm talking about, right?
No.
Okay.
He sounds like I'm supposed to know it.
Nichols Dodge.
Okay.
Bunk Nichols.
Okay.
Son. He has MS. He's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Todd Porterfield.
Okay.
So
so Todd has a hangar
correct
for me. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he's a pilot too.
Yep. So I would go with Perry to look at his yacht or whatever, and I seen your plane over there one day, and I was like, you know what? If you do work 24/7, and if you do work hard enough, you can get whatever you want. I don't know who that guy is. I didn't know you then. I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but he's smart. Whoever he is, he's smart. So that was the way that went down. That was how I learned it.
I appreciate you saying that. And what I have done, I did learn a lot from television. But as soon as I got associated with Amway, you familiar with that company
at
all? So I got involved with them, and they said, read these books. And I was like, why? And they said, if you read these books, you will know stuff that other people don't know, and you will reach heights that other people can't reach. And I was like, really? So you're telling me that information changes the situation? And they said, yeah. I said, all right, if that's it, I'm going to do it. So I started reading the books, listening to the people, and trying my best to emulate what they did. I really made a massive effort. John Maxwell, have you heard that name? Mm-hmm. So I spent a lot of time around John, and just learned so much. Like when I would pay to go on a trip with him for 3 or 4 days, I mean, I would carry his luggage. I would open the door for him. I would save my seat right beside him. Like, I hogged him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would learn so much, not during the seminars, but just while we were talking on the bus, or if he was the last to go in the convention center or whatever, I'd be standing out there talking to him. And you know what I mean? And I guess it's the same thing with racing. I mean, it's just taking that, absorbing that.
Exactly. It's like coaching, right? Like, so when you want to go in a game, you slide down beside the coach. Like, it's the same thing, and that's the same thing we do here, right? Like, it's the same thing in NASCAR. You want the best driver, you start becoming friends with him, or you start working on him, or you start trying, and you want the best team, you get the best crew chiefs, the best people, and you become friends with them. And even our partners, everybody that we, sponsors, I call them partners because I don't believe in the word sponsorship, because you're part of me when you spend money with us. Yeah. You make them your friend. You call them, you text them, you talk to them. I mean,
like, legitimately your friend.
Legitimately your friend. No matter what happens, they're still my friend. If they decide never to be in NASCAR again, they're my friend. That's
the secret to insurance. That's the secret to building an agency. And I tell Spencer this, my son, I'm like, buddy, I actually like that person, right? And he's like, you're so different. You're like, they're just like me. You know what I mean? Like, I can see the similarities that we overlap. The secret to building an agency is friendship, like legitimate, not just because they're selling a lot, not because they're, great at recruiting. It's because they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just are.
Yeah. You make it personal, it changes the world.
It changes everything.
And I told your social media girl.
Yeah, Jessica.
So we were talking. They called me and we were talking, and they've watched my social media. And I said, well, hang on a second. I've been following Andy for probably, 4 years now or whatever. I've been following him a long time since we started building Kaulig Racing. He don't follow me. She says, I'll fix that. Just hang on. I'll fix it. I thought it was funny.
Did she hit the button?
Yeah, well, later on, my guy that helps me, he goes, hey, Andy followed you. Are you excited? I said, I'm so excited. Yes. Because there's not many people in NASCAR that you don't get to meet. I met Luke Combs. I've met, I've met presidents. I got to meet Donald Trump not long ago. Like, I have met presidents, but I don't get giddy about it, right? Like, and it's like, but when somebody relates to your life each and every day, and I do watch the last one that really sticks out in my mind. You were talking about where you were born and raised, and you're talking about, you started with nothing. You didn't have nothing, and you worked 24/7, and you done this, and it's like you take that, and it embeds in your brain. Somebody that's building something, right? Yeah. I think the people that follow you will stay with you. Like Matt Kaulig, he's my best friend. Yeah. He owns Leaf for the gutter protection. He's not a racing guy. He's just like you. He didn't know nothing about racing.
Really?
But he knew racing and NASCAR and branding would take gutter protection from here to out the roof. It was an $80 million company when we started the race team almost 7 years ago. They'd done $1.6 billion last year in gutter protection. But he knew, he's smart enough like you, that, hey, if I brand this and I get all out on TV and I do all this, people are going to buy it. They can't help but buy it. And that's the way he does it. He took NASCAR and changed it. He don't do it for how the car runs on a racetrack.
So that's a great story.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. He does it.
So hey, so Kaulig?
Yep, just like Baby Kaulig. That's the way I say it.
Kaulig, that's his last name. Mm-hmm. He was in the gutter protection business and said, I'm going to invest in
NASCAR,
a race team.
Yep.
Invest in race car to invest in myself.
Yep. That's exactly the way he done it. He totally different than anybody else. And the way we've sold our partners is the same way. We talk to them and say, hey, here's his story. You can come in here and you can follow it, or you can do it the original way of selling sponsorships, putting your name on this billboard and use it as a sponsorship. Worry about where the race car runs, or worry about this, or you can use it as branding. And you can have that race car there all the time. Because when I see that, I think of you.
Right.
Right? When you see the green and black and leaf on a car, you think of leaf filter gutter protection. You immediately start typing it in. And it has grown that business to where it's ginormous.
Is the racing team growing as fast and as big and as popular as the leaf gutter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, then it's got to be more than just racing and the gutter guy. It's got to be the leadership.
He knows how to lead.
It's got to be the right people.
Yep. And he knows how to get the people. Probably just like you. You know how to get the good people, right? So he didn't know nothing about racing, but he got me. He found me. He came to North Carolina. He found me. We met. He learned how to become a friend of mine. Now we're best friends.
Yeah.
And we talk every day, and we sit and have conversations. And it's not a boss man.
Yeah.
He knows how to lead. He knows nothing about running this race team.
So did he start with like one driver, one car?
We did.
And then got another car?
Yeah, so
Another
what we
driver?
did, we started with one driver. We started building a team for 2 years. We were just an average race team. And then we seen that it was time, just like agents probably with you, you got to get that go-getter agent, right?
Yeah.
So, we changed drivers. And then we went out, A.J. Allmendinger, you probably don't know him, but he's a popular guy. He got fired from Cup. Nobody liked him because he's a Tasmanian devil. He's hard to control. He's like really hard. He's like, "Wah!" and he can be a complete butthole every now and then. And I told Matt, I was like, hey, I'll control him. I'll bring him in here and love on him and care on him, and I'll control him. That dude came in. We had 0 wins when he came 3 years ago. We won 16 times. We won 15 in Xfinity, 1 in Cup at Indianapolis. AJ's won 12 of them.
So Kaulig is just trying to help you put together a winning team.
Yep. That's what he's
Whether
doing.
it's mechanics, design.
He don't even do that. He just invested in me. I do all the rest.
You do all
It's
that.
just me, and then I do the rest. It's just me. He doesn't deal with any of the other. He
He's
doesn't.
running the leaf business.
Yep. He runs the leaf business. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's but he knows how to take me and teach me business, which a lot of NASCAR teams sometimes struggle with.
Uh-huh.
And relate it to the world, and then bring in these businesses and these business people that want to brand their companies and help them grow and take clients and their people and grow with them, So
Yeah.
that he knows how to do that. He knows how to get the most out of them. And that's why I follow. That's why you and I feel like we're a lot alike, because 24/7. You got to be on your game 24/7. When you wake up in the morning, I'm sure your wife doesn't really like you because you're smiling and happy, and she's like, get out of here, just like mine, get out of here. And it's like, okay, but I got to go make everybody happy and work on all these other people. And that's the way I am. And now my wife has gotten way better about it, but
Yeah.
it
It is something that's like, I just got a long text from her, and it was like, I don't know, 8 things going on. For me, I see excitement, energy, opportunity. For her, it is a lot going on. Like I've got a pack for 10 days in Paris, and I'm like, right? Like, yay! And it's like, no.
Pack. I don't know what to put in my bag.
No.
Can I carry 2 bags? Are you taking your plane? Do I have to fly? Yeah. My wife goes with me a lot.
It's so opposite. Me and my wife are so much alike, but we're also so daggum opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And and I have to try to,
Our family's a lot alike.
Send a text that I'm trying to be really, really understanding when it really is hard for me to understand.
Yeah.
Like, this is huge.
Yeah.
They were going.
I got to go to Paris for 8 days. I don't know what to do. Now your wife's probably gonna hate me after she watches this and hears this. Like,
So we're talking about the kids. So, it's interesting how our life has changed. The Albright family life has changed. But Jane did such a good job with the kids that, like, you've been working out with Spencer, and you would have never thought that he flies around in a private jet. You never thought that he's been to Africa 6 times on safaris.
yeah, no.
You just wouldn't have put any of that. I mean, he's witty and smart, and he's obviously knowledgeable about the world, as he says, because he's been there.
Yep.
Not because he read about it. But it's not pretentious thing or whatever.
No. He knew me, but I didn't know him. Like, he knew me, but I had no idea who he was.
Like, he knew you were the racing guy.
Yeah, he knew I was a racing guy because I'm brand. right? Like you brand yourself. Like you brand. So you see me, I got Kaulig Racing on. You'll see me Burlington. You'll see me at the country club. You'll see me wherever. I got Kaulig Racing on.
Yeah.
Well, I asked him. He had your logo on. I said, "You know that guy?" And he's super quiet. He's a quiet guy. I mean, he works his butt off in the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that or not.
You can look at his hands. And
Yeah. And I said, "You know that guy?" We were done working out. And he says, "Yes, sir." I said, "Dude, he's on it." He said, "Yeah, he's my dad." Said, "What?" I knew he was driving a really nice car. Well, his wouldn't crank or something. He was driving your G-Wagon, I think, is what he was driving.
Yeah, $275,000.
G-Wagon, yeah. And I said,
there's only like 32 in the country.
right. I'm like, Matt's wife has one, just so you know.
There's two in Burlington.
No, Matt Kaulig, which is he lives in Ohio.
Okay.
He lives in Hudson, Ohio.
Like, two of them in
No. So I'm like, wait a minute, he's your dad? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, I want to meet him. That's exactly what he's like.
Told me.
He's like, okay, I can arrange that. And how it is. You just don't keep going.
But like of all the things, I mean, don't get me wrong, we got so many fun things. But for your kids to get that, I mean, for my kids to experience that, you know what I mean? Like I'm their hero or I'm daddy. You know, what I mean? That makes me.
It should make you proud.
It makes me proud.
Because I mean, I hate to keep like blowing smoke, but it's like they notice you for who you are. Right? Just like your dad. I'm sure you remember or you know him for who he is.
Yeah. Well, like you said I'm like young. I also think I'm like really old. My attorneys, my accountants, they're always like, you don't need to think about that now. That's 10, 12 years down the road. And I'm like, no. We need to think about it now. And like one of the things I thought about was people tell you that your kids don't want to be around you when they get older. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start working on that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've started working on, hey, safari in Africa. My son has not said no one time. I don't want to hang out with you for 10 days. Matter of fact, if I said you want to go 15 days, he'd be like, yeah, sure. Or do we want to go to ball games? He knows we ain't going to have the nosebleed seats, as my mom would call them. You know what I mean? Like I've not had my kids say we don't want to be around y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same way.
As a matter of fact, one relief that Jane had is she said, hey, I'm thinking that I might not go to Paris, and Haley, the daughter, might substitute. And Haley's like, I'm in. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I'm not hanging out with Dad for 10 days. She's like, I'm in.
Yeah. I'll go to Paris. I'll get the caps. I'll do all the things I need to do. I'll pack. I promise you, I'll pack. I'm excited about it. My kids are the same. We just took them to Bristol.
That is awesome.
Easter. We raced on Easter Sunday. Both of my kids, I hadn't had them by themselves without their boyfriends or husbands in 10 years. And we all went. I have a motorhome, got driver and all that good stuff. And, we got to have a great time. It was a much better vacation than we had when they were this tall. It was so good. It was really good, actually.
I love one of my favorite things that because we'll have agents or salespeople or ask our kids questions sometimes, and we were doing a panel and somebody asked them, said, what's it like for your parents to travel a lot and not be at home all the time? And they were like, wait, everybody's parents don't do that? They don't go build a business and travel and leave the house? We've never thought that y'all's parents stay at home. We thought it was normal to go build a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now it's normal for them to do whatever they got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not 9-to-5ers.
Yeah. You don't think about that.
I can't say they're 100% 24/7 because it's hard to be as crazy as I am. But
I'm here. I'm you. Get home Sunday. I got home Sunday. I rolled in my house in Burlington Sunday. I worked out at 8:30, and I was at the office by 10:30.
So your health is a big thing for you. Sound like you went through something happened, and
yeah, I did. My health is, and thanks for bringing that up. I just had a big deal with CrossFit. They done an interview on me and put me on the big CrossFit deal, and got to meet Rich Froney, which is the owner or started CrossFit Mayhem, and I'm actually going to introduce your son to him.
Nice.
And I was 330 pounds.
All right.
Big guy. and I wanted to see my kids get married. So I said, okay, I got to get healthy. So I started losing weight.
You didn't want to die.
I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die. Like, and my wife is beautiful, beautiful lady, and she still loved me at 330 pounds. So I lost a bunch of weight, unhealthy, lost it unhealthy. Taking, I don't know, it was Xenadrine or something, took it, got real low, skinny looking, looked terrible. And I was like, okay, I went back up. So here recently, I had lost back down, and I just got lazy, wasn't paying attention, stress had hit me, and probably in the last year and a half, I worked really hard on my body, on fixing my body, fixing what I eat, working out, not taking no for excuses. And over the last 6 months, I dropped 50 pounds and gained about 30% muscle. And I really took my health seriously, even to the point to where I go to doctors and check all of my levels on everything. From because the older you get, the more your levels go down, right? Like, it's not a secret. It's not by no means a secret. And that has absolutely changed my life. Like, doing those things, working out, drinking water, making sure that I eat correctly, eating right, paying attention to our diet. Now, my wife's helped me a lot. She's been big about this. But it also has changed how I deal with people. Like, when you're moody, like, sometimes you don't want to talk to people, right? Like, you just don't want to talk to people. Yeah. I don't have that anymore because of the beat down of sugar or the crashing of energy drinks or something like that. I don't have that because I don't use them. I don't, I'm all health guy. I'm not that guy that runs out on the street and says you got to eat all greens and all this, but I am one that in my business, my people in my business, I talk to them all the time. My crew chiefs, which is like my team leaders, have lost 165 pounds in less than 6 months.
Wow.
They were bigger guys, stress eaters type deal. So I've just put up a deal. We have a nurse at our office that we keep on hand all the time. And I just put up a deal about you. You got to think about yourself. Before you can do any other job, you got to think about yourself, right? Like, you can't do a job if you don't think about yourself first. And see, I never knew you did that, but I just did that with all my people.
Of you.
Inside the circle of you.
That's your number one changing the world is inside that circle.
Yes. So I told them if they will jump on board of getting healthy, getting themselves healthy, I'll add to the pot of bonus. We have this pot of gold where we bonus people at the end of the year. I'll add to it. Every pound we lose, every dollar. We get to 1,000 pounds, I'll double it. All of the little things like that, just because how people work, they love money. They love money. I mean, who doesn't love money? Yeah. So, and I will keep them accountable. We got a partner. It's called Circle Water Bottles. Okay, we brought you one, and it's this flavoring. Like, you screw the top in, and it tastes. You put water in it, 0 calories, 0 everything. I already done all the checking on it, and you drink it. It has cut out drinks at my shop by over double.
Wow.
Because it's flavored water. And you get the deal, and I mean, it's going crazy. You can buy it at Walmart or whatever, but they're our partners, so we give them to all our guys. But yeah, so my health is something big because when you're going, and you get on planes all the time, you can get on that plane and the pilot has granola bars or a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew or whatever, and all you're doing is sitting for an hour or two. Yeah. Next thing you know, you get off and think, man, I am super tired. Instead of getting off the plane, you're drinking water, eating whatever your health kick is, and you get off and you're wide open, doing whatever you need to do, working or whatever. So I pay really close attention to that because we travel. I got back from Talladega.
Did you have a scare at all, or just
my dad? My dad had a heart attack, and we had to do some bypasses and different things. And my family has had cancer, and I read about what feeds cancer. And sugar feeds cancer. So why eat sugar? Like, and it's hard. It's hard every day. You ride around somebody to go get a Snickers bar, and I remember what they taste like. And you gotta go to get you that big old bottle of water, or get you a Slim Jim, or something that is okay. But I know that I got to think about myself before I can think about my team. Yeah. And I know if I'm not here, and you just said this. How's my team going to pay for their houses? How are they going to buy these new cars? Yeah. How are they going to get their boats? Yeah. People used to tell me, aren't you mad that he went and bought a boat? I'm like, no. I'm so glad he went and bought a boat. I wish he'd go get a motorhome and a house. And I'm like, why? That means he's got to come to work. Or she's got to come to work. Like, I love it. I want to buy everything they can buy. So I feel like that I'm responsible for that. That if I'm not here, that I'm responsible for those guys and girls' house payments, making the money, bringing in the partners, talking to the people I need to talk to keep keep the ball rolling. Because we have a budget, just like you do here. We have a budget. It's a business, and you got to stay within that budget. So, which is fun. To me, that's a game. A budget is a game to me.
Oh man, that's
like.
Well, did you grow up playing Monopoly? And yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a young guy came in to visit our Florida office, and I was like, hey man, listen, congratulations what you've been doing with us. And he's like, yeah. I said, you know the way we play the game is to get out of the game, right? And he's like, what? I said, don't you remember Monopoly? We're trying to get out of the game, right? So what you do is you buy everything or you spend the money to get out of the game. And he was like, oh my God, you're going to go in on me already. I was like, yeah, I am. Don't you remember playing the game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like delegating and figuring out different ways to have money coming in. And so
you sell.
It's a game
to get out.
It's just a dadgum game.
It is, and budgeting. We have a good CFO, which I met your CFO. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's a race fan. So when I came in, when I came in, he remembered me from Western Alamance.
He told me about that when you were calling games.
Yeah, I would call games because I knew that my daughter was there. I'm going to be there. So if I can just help out the school and make people happy and smile, no matter whether they're winning or losing. And I would play music. I got the systems changed. I got them put speakers up. I mean, the whole time my sister was at Western Alamance. But if you got a good CFO, it's kind of like having a banker.
Yeah.
And it's a fun deal, having a budget. So yeah, he's a race fan, which is cool. I got to meet him. And
so me and him, he's a great guy. He's Eagle Scout.
Oh.
And me and him went to Sunday school together. That's how we met. Like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. So he lives right around the corner. As a matter of fact, if you go past the church, don't turn left, keep straight, you will recognize his house on the left. It's a beautiful, kind of a grayish, bluish house, got a big swimming pool in the back.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So he was a partner with a firm here locally, and I would see him, and I'd be like, hey, man, I understand you're a CPA and do money. I said, why don't you come work for me? And he's like, when? I said, when I can afford you. That's when I want you to come for me. And one day I saw him over there at the steakhouse, and I said, hey, I can afford you. He said, you sure? I said, I'm positive. He said, all right, let's do it. And so he came over like that Monday, and he had a big concern. He said, I really don't want to come up here and just do mundane stuff and be bored. I said, all right, we'll try to keep it interesting. Just ask him if his job has been.
You can tell. You can tell because he was smiling. He was having a good time.
Ending.
Yeah.
Never-ending drama.
Somebody else that you have that helps your teams, build your teams and do different things. He was so happy.
Robbie Kraft, probably.
Yeah.
Everybody here. Well, we have a rule here. Either you're happy here or you can't stay.
Same thing we are.
You can try to fake it if you want to, but you better be really good at faking it. You know what I'm saying?
Can't fake it long.
No, you can't.
Fake
it. You can interview 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but you can't come in every day and convince us.
No, and that's good because we have the same philosophy. NASCAR's hard. A professional sport is hard. What's your favorite professional sport?
Wrestling.
Okay, all right. That's great. It's fake.
Like any profession.
It's fake.
No.
Yeah, wrestling's fake.
No.
You know how I know?
Do you know Don Kernodle?
Yes. So I know all these wrestling people, and I got to meet all these people.
Let me tell you a real story about Don Kernodle, so you know. So Don, I grew up with Don, same church. His dad's Don Kernodle and Donnie Kernodle, really Donnie and Wally, right?
What's his wife's name?
So Donnie's married 30 years ago, Don Kernodle. We're talking about the professional wrestler.
Professional wrestler, yep.
So John Settlemeyer is a preacher at Union Ridge. This is maybe 40 years ago. So yeah, it could have been 40 years ago. We're over at his house, and we're sitting there and running our mouth. And Donnie, the professional wrestler, 4-time world tag team champion with, with Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, both. He's laying on the floor, and the preacher said, "This is, it's fake. I'm getting tired of y'all." And he says, and this guy is serious. I was like, "What is that?" And Don Cornodle said, because he said, "They're faking like they're stomping you, and they're not." He said, "I tell you what, you jump up and down on my arm all you want to." He said, "I give you 5 minutes jumping up and down it, and I'm gonna get up and body slam you one time, and then you tell me whether it's fake or not." And then the preacher sat down, and we were dying laughing.
So you know why I said it was fake?
What's
Because
that?
I wanted to see if you was really a fan, and because you are. Because it like no, it's not.
No,
fake.
it ain't fake.
So the Jarretts, Jeff Jarrett and those guys, they
Yeah.
own it now.
Yeah.
And I know those guys very personally, like because Hermie
Yeah.
Sadler's a good friend of mine, and I told him, I was like, man, I got to see Rock and Roll Express, Bad Leroy Brown, I
Yeah.
got to meet, and dude, he's like, "You think it's fake?" I said, "No." He said, "That's the number one answer of wrestling fans. If you ask them if you think it's fake and they go jump back, no, they're
crazy.
wrestling fans." So yeah, that's why I asked you that question.
Body slamming one time, and
One
then see
time.
whether you believe it's fake or not.
They used to have that deal out at was it Gibsonville? They used to have that
Well,
wrestling.
we used to do it out here at the baseball field too.
You had baseball
Matter of
fans.
fact, I remember it's one of my first memories of money. We were following Donnie around, and he had a stack of cash and choke a damn gum cow. and every once in a while, something would fall out, and we were following
Yeah, pick it
around,
up.
picking it up.
But that's the way he done his deal. He'd bring in cash
Oh,
money.
You ought to hear him talk about it. Now he's passed. Don's passed.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have known that.
so,
Yeah.
he's passed away a little bit ago, and I love Donnie. I talked to his brother Wally, but yeah, matter of fact, I have had them and Sergeant Slaughter and Ric Flair at our conventions.
I seen a video.
Because I tell people, I said, that's how I learned how to talk. You can't win no football game mealy mouthing. You got to start talking.
You got to scream with these people.
Right.
But is wrestling fake? No. No. Oh, your eyes got big. No, it ain't fake. It's not fake. I mean, you were just as serious. That's the way you tell if you got a really wrestling fan.
Dude, I remember. In Andre the Giant, man, that joker.
So I got pictures with Andre the Giant. Now I'm
Yeah.
a big dude, right?
Yeah.
That's a great big dude. Great big dude.
He could take a beer can and hide it completely in his hand.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy.
I mean, unhealthy as hell.
You know about
like,
I know a lot of stories about him.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Rick.
Yeah. Oh, but Rick, his daughter wrestles now.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
The other day, I was
She's
scrolling
awesome.
through TV and it come up and I go, "Who is that?" And about that time, they said Flair, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's Rick Flair's daughter." So I started Googling, right? I'm Googling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she's a beautiful girl."
I like the way he just won't die. You know what
He
I'm saying?
ain't gonna die. We'll
He
die
just-
way before he will. He'll be 190. We'll be dead.
Go to dance. Yeah, I say. I mean, that's the way we grew up. Everybody.
Same. We're close to the same age. 10 years is not much different, right? Like, and they used to come to the school, to the high school.
Yeah.
Right, and that was one of my fondest memories. My mom and dad didn't have any money, like zero money. So we'd go, they'd take us to a wrestling match, and I want to say it was $10 to get in. But they made me and my brother save our money.
Yeah.
Mowing grass or whatever. And, dude, I got $20 one time. I got front row seats. And they done that smack where they hit them and they spit all at the same time. And it hit me on my face. And I'm like, "I believe it's real, y'all. I believe it's real." My dad said, "It ain't real. Son, this ain't real." I'm like, "He just spit on me." He said, "Yeah, he spit on me."
We used to go all the way to WRAL and go down and watch it live at the TV station.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Dave believed it or not, but we loved it. Because with Don Cornodle, I mean, we went to church with him.
Yeah.
He was our hero.
He's your hero.
And one time they got the parents in the ring, and they beat the snot out of them. That was
So we
interesting.
need to go. So Monday, WWE Monday night, what is it, Monday
Monday
night?
Night Raw or
is
something
coming to
like that.
Greensboro. I'll get us some front row passes. Actually, we'll get in there and fight. We'll get some suspenders and real tight stuff, and we'll make it a play. We'll get in there and fight. Insurance guy against NASCAR.
Yeah, that's
like,
it,
how's
that's
this
it.
going to go? Insurance
Insurance
guy,
is somebody-
NASCAR. Who's going to win? Put your money on the guy. They're going to get to where they start betting on that stuff. Then it's really going to get
Oh,
bad.
then it's definitely going to be crooked when they start betting on it, right?
Yeah.
Well, Well, congratulations on what you've done, man. I mean, I always, like, when you're having conversations like this, I'm always thinking, what problems? You know what I mean? What overcoming situations are, you know what I mean? Because it's one thing you know. Mm-hmm. If you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, somebody helped him get up there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And if you see a person that's successful, they've been through some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same as impossible for a turtle to get up there by himself as somebody to get where he's got. You know, John Maxwell, I learned that from him. You know, you think he ain't never had a problem in his life. Ooh, stuff he's been through.
Yeah. And, you know, you think about that and you're right. All the bad days. That's what I told somebody I was talking to him walking through the place. Didn't nobody know me 3 years ago.
Just 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. I mean, they knew who I was. They knew I was in NASCAR, but that wasn't as near as popular as, you know, I am now, which I don't do it for popularity. I want to make somebody smile. Just like our conversation we had. I don't know how many podcasts you've had and laughed this much, but that's what it's about. If I can make one person smile in any interview or any conversation that I have, I feel like I've done my job in life. And I do that with business. If I can make my guys and girls smile, they're going to work really hard for me because I've hired people smarter than me. Those people that work for me are way smarter than I am. Like, making these race cars go, I can make them go. I can do all this. I work for R.D. Smith. I don't know if you know Rodney Smith. I work for those guys. That's how I became Burlington. I was smart back then, but now race cars, I just know how to build business. I just know how to build a business now just because I was a student. Just like you said, you read books. I didn't even know this was sitting here.
Yeah.
But I thought about myself.
I remember when I heard that for the first time. I was in Greensboro Coliseum, and a guy was drawing on the board, and he was talking about this guy named Larry Winters, and he was saying, if you would just worry about you. It sounded selfish at first, but you can't do nothing. You can't change Trump. You can't change Biden. You can't change the Ukraine, all the Russia. You know, as my dad would say, you pee-peeing in the ocean hoping you're going to have a high tide.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is work on you and where you stand. And I just got the biggest kick out. I was in my late 20s, and I was like, if that's true, then I need to worry less about the rest of the world and worry more about my disasters. I think I know the Bible says worry about that splinter in your own eye before you worry about everybody else. It took a lot of pressure off of me too, because you know, you think, I got to change this world. I got to change this guy. I got to pray change this you know, the administration. Yeah, you got to do all that.
I don't. And when I started doing that, when I started worrying about me, we started getting successful. Like, we really did. But we started getting successful. I didn't worry about everybody else, what they thought about me, right? I didn't worry about that. I worried about, and it's like you talking about presidents. Hey, I worried about me, who I voted for, what I did. But if it's a president there, he's my president. I live in the USA. I say it on my social media all the time. I love living in America. I don't care who's up there. I love living in America. You imagine living in Ukraine. So think about yourself, and you know, you're right. And I have went through some stuff, and I'm sure you have too. And you didn't work 24/7 because you wanted to. It was because you had to. I think about you that a lot of times. Like, people think about you getting on your planes and stuff like that, how you got it made. You get on your planes because you got to go talk to somebody. You got to go do something. Because we don't post it a lot, but I fly private out of Burlington all the time. Like, I don't know the last time I was on a commercial flight, but I just don't post it. You know, we flew a G650 in here, and I took 18 people to the Alamance Country Club, right into Burlington. It was people over there videoing it, big old plane, you know, but yeah. And so, but you got to get somewhere fast. You don't have the time to drive to Florida or so you work 24/7 because you had to. You went through it. Yeah. And that's the same thing with me. You work really hard and you smile and you do things because I went through it. All the bad days. Running last. I mean, Saturday I had one guy crash, break his foot, and I had another guy, Sunday, had another guy almost win in the biggest sport in the world, you know. So, like, you have good days and bad days.
So one disaster the same day you having one miracle.
Yep. And how do you physically control your mental status with that?
I know.
Like, how do you do it? You want to be happy, but at the same time, you got this guy with a broke foot. Like, you're like, Then you got to be happy. You're just like, So you start worrying about yourself. how can I control myself and it'll help everybody else. And that's what's worked. And honest to goodness, I didn't even know. I'm gonna read that book now, though. I'm gonna get that book and read it. 'Cause I didn't even know you had one.
Well, and it's fun when I see the kids too adopt a lot of the philosophies.
You should be very, very proud of Spencer.
I am.
Like,
thrilled to have him in business with me too.
yeah, I had no idea who he was. I swear, honest to goodness, truthful story. We were done working out, put that sweatshirt back on, and I seen it, and I was like, exactly what I said.
So the son-in-law's in business with us too now, and it's fun to hear him tell a story because he said, he was dating Haley. They've been dating for a while, and she said, my parents have a suite on a cruise ship, and they'd like to have us. Like, they weren't married, so they've got plenty of bedrooms in the suite. Like, that should have been a signal.
Oh no,
But
he's a young dude.
It didn't occur.
He's a young dude.
It didn't occur to him. So when we got on the suite, it had a grand piano in it, a small swimming pool in the suite, and a lot of other amenities. And he said, something ain't right here. He said that's the first time that he was like, because Haley was, she studied global luxury management in Paris. Like, that was part of her degree from NC State. And one day I called her. I said, what are you doing? Like, what are they teaching y'all? And she said, they're teaching us how to take care of people like you that want everything right and want everything at my fingertips,
Yeah.
Yep. And I said, well, good. You need to be trained on treating, handling people like me. But she's very unassuming, like Spencer. And her husband, of course, I've gradually brought him into the business. And eventually, I was kind of, I'll say, turning the pressure up, and basically telling him that his current employment situation, that I was predicting the future for him. I was like, I just don't think it's going as big as you want to go. Mm-hmm. And he's scratching his head. And this is his story, that he asked Haley, our daughter, his wife. He said, do I have to do this? She said, you certainly don't have to do it, but I'd really be disappointed if you didn't try.
Fair.
I was like, boom, yeah,
Fair.
What a great shot.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah.
And then now he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves the people aspect. He's a people person, got great personality, and a work ethic.
And you're a smart dad. Your daughter's been grown up to fly on private jets and do fun things and do stuff like that. Then you knew that it would be hard for her if he worked at, and not saying anything bad about Walmart, but if he was a greeter at Walmart.
Well,
it was going to be very hard.
It's the vacation problem.
Right. There you go.
You know what I mean? It's not that, their vacation package is not what I thought would be suitable for our family.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you were thinking.
Yeah.
I need to get you and Matt Kaulig to, not a podcast, but you guys just to meet, like business-wise. Yeah, you guys just talk.
So I'm sure he hangs out in a suite or something at the races.
He sits on the pit box. He sits on the sideline. He don't want to be on the suite. He don't. I seen you doing some of your, you went to NC State. Yeah. Well, he went to Akron. He's their their number one supporter now.
Is he really?
Yeah, he gives all his money back. He's got a givings. He's got a lot of stuff that is great. But he sits on the sideline. So, like, anytime you ever want to come to a race, just have them reach out to me. You're welcome to come anytime you want to. You can fly in on 24/7. I'll have somebody pick you up, bring you right to you sit on the sideline. You ain't even got to watch the whole race. You can leave. You can enjoy the experience, because it is an experience. Yeah, and we talk about that. But Matt would be a good person to have in your notebook, right? Like, I always say, you get your notebook big enough that if anything ever goes haywire or anything you ever need anybody, you got that notebook big enough. You got that alliances.
I'd love to meet him.
You got all of that, and he's that guy. And he absolutely he told me 4 years ago. He says, you live in the same town as Andy Albright. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I said, I don't even know who you're talking about. He was the one that had the conversation with me about how yes, I swear to you. Like, and I told him that I was coming on a podcast with you. He said, no way. I said, yes, I'm dead serious. I'm going. And I've never, because everybody's always told me I should know you, and I was like, I don't know. He could walk by me, I wouldn't know him until I started following you. But Matt is the type guy.
Don't you love it? I mean, it's like the Nichols guy. Like, I know who he is, but I've never met him.
Right.
But I know the CEO of Mutual Omaha.
There you go.
But he's in Utah. I mean, he's in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, and like your guy, this guy's in Ohio. He's not over here in Mebane.
Loves you. Like, and you guys could meet, and it's business wise, right? Like, so you're sitting here high end. All three of us high end business guys. It ain't about what this person wants from you. It's just they like your lifestyle and the way you build teams, and
well, they like to help people.
You like to help people, and
people always shocked when they message me and I give them advice. I'm coaching a guy right now, a huge construction business in New Jersey. And I told him a few things, and he was all nice about it. And then he's like, hey, I want to go in business with you. I said, bro, you ain't got to go in business with me if you don't want to. He said, no, I want to do it. I was like, you're busy as everything. He said, I can take on one more thing. I mean, he makes millions in construction. But he was just like, so you're just going to give me his advice, you're going to charge me? I said, what am I going to charge you for? That's not. I'm not in the money making coaching business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think a lot of people. I think Nichols is like that. I've heard so many good things about him.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff he texts me. Now Perry's MS, very hard. He's on the last little bit. He built this building right over here.
Isn't Sherry, girl that does all our decorating, her husband worked for him for 20-some years.
You talking about lives right beside him. Oh, gosh. He's retired from Nichols Dodge.
He just retired.
Yep. So I live right behind him, right across the
I
pond.
want to take my phone. Sherry does everything for us.
Yeah.
Like our house that my wife spent insane money, Sherry was a big contributor.
Yeah, what's his name? Doggone it.
I know him good as ever.
Lives
Tony.
right beside Tony. Yep, lives right beside him. Lives right beside Perry.
Yeah.
So Perry was a racer. He loved racing, had a race car, and him and I, we knew each other, but we raced against each other. And so when I moved to Burlington, he had started declining, and I started helping him, like helping at his house. Now he's got full-time people, but and then we became friends. And just recently, you can tell he sold his condo at Charlotte, stuff like that. But you can tell, and he sends me stuff. I went with him to Viking. He was building a boat, building a yacht, to look at his yacht. And he sends me texts all the time. You know, I'm so proud of you. I mean, just so cool stuff. And this is a billionaire. Like, just.
That's nice.
And he'll say, call me sometime. Well, he messed up. He got my phone messed up in his phone number in his phone, and he was texting somebody else for a month. So he had his guy reach out to me and said, hey, Chris, are you mad at Perry? I said, mad at Perry for what? He said, well, he's been texting you since November. I said, I've not talked to Perry. I called him one time. We talked on the phone. He's like, no, he's been texting you. He'd been texting the wrong person. And the guy wouldn't text him back, or whoever it was would text him back. So he finally found me. And now we talk every week, at least two or three times a week.
Isn't that cool?
And I'm serious, Andy. He's in a wheelchair. I can't move much.
So I think you'll appreciate this. So having dinner tonight with one of my best friends who has been in business with me for 33 years. And I've not been in the same business for 33 years, meaning every time I've moved, he moved with me.
He moved with you?
Yeah.
Where's he live?
Wilmington.
Okay, so you flying down? What's he coming up?
He's going to be here.
Okay. Where do you go to dinner in Burlington when you go?
Pragos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my favorite spot. I was real good friends with Vinny.
Okay.
Before he passed away, and I remember when he moved in, it was Church's Chicken up there in the corner. I remember I would go there like 2 or 3 times and order way more than I needed just to go
help him out.
Do a bill. Yeah, do a big bill for him.
That's crazy.
I still kind of do now. You know.
I moved here in 2002, so I used to come down here a lot from South Boston, Virginia, but moved here in 2002.
But I mean, I love. We do 584 occasionally. I love Mr. Katz.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of my friend that's coming up. Is Katz. It's the same Katz world. Have you Steve's? I like the Steve's meat over here in Graham.
Oh, I haven't been there. I need to try it.
Bo.
Good.
You're talking country.
That's me. I'm all country boy.
I'm surprised at Steve's Meat Market or whatever. It used to be a grocery store.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Not kidding. It's unbelievable. Ribs, chicken, collards, braised. I got some braised cabbage yesterday. Took it out to the cabin, and I'm not kidding.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it is heavy.
I'm going to have to hit it.
They don't ask you. They put hush puppies in there.
See, I'll eat them. That's my problem. They can't put them in there. I can't put them in there. I don't want them, boy. Woo.
You better think twice before you go over there.
Yeah, I won't go. I'll let somebody else go.
But they got the meat section. You know, all the the raw stuff, the
Right.
stuff you can cook.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I try not to go too often. But we went yesterday. I told Mac. I said because it's so quick. You know.
Right.
It's almost like fast food, but it ain't fast food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
So
know?
how often do you go home?
So
Well,
I live in Florida.
Right. Okay.
Like, you know, in the beginning they're like, now you have to be there 6 months and 1 day for no taxes. I was like, okay, how about 9 months? Will that work? You know, I'm just like, that's where I live. And then, so if I'm traveling to, if I'm gonna go to Atlanta, Denver, Oklahoma, and home, I always leave from Florida and then return to Florida, and that counts as living in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So if you do it like that, I'm there almost 10 months. And but so we've got a place out in Caswell County too. Do you?
Heard about that. Chris told me about that.
Crazy pretty. Chris Hershey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful. And so that's the one question my wife's got. So let me get this straight. We're here in Florida all the time. We got a house that I remodeled, and then you got this place out in Caswell County, and then you want a place in Africa. I was like, yeah.
You'll get a bigger plane if you get a place in Africa. I'm just going to tell you, Andy, you're going to get a bigger plane.
I will receive that.
Yeah. Matt told me, I don't know, it was 4 years ago. He said, I'll never fly commercial again. He said, I'll never fly commercial. Not me, him. He said, he'll never fly commercial again.
Even international.
Even international. He'll never fly commercial again.
I can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine that. Like
The bill?
The bill or flying international private.
Well, I know what the bill is from Hudson, Ohio, is where he lives, which is in between Akron and Cleveland, to L.A. I know what that bill is. So I
It's on
couldn't.
650.
Yeah, it's on 650. Yeah, yeah, I know what that bill is.
So I test flew a 250, G250, a couple of times, and I've never.
Yeah.
Huh?
When you fly 650, we flew it into.
I'm surprised 650 lands here. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it'll land here.
Big city of Burlington.
Yeah, we have a picture. My daughter picked me up, me and my wife, but we were the only two on it. Flew from Hudson down here. We're the only two on this 650, and it flies in, and it's hilarious. My daughter's videoing us as we getting off of it. We won't I can't post it, but yeah, it's hilarious. It's so funny.
Well, but this is the redneck in us. Like my jet holds 9. Well, the first one holds 7 plus 2 pilots. We'd always fly with 7, and then 9, meaning trying to get the most value out of it.
Oh yeah.
And the pilots kind of made fun of us. They said typically the biggest planes have the fewest passengers.
Every time.
But like the little rednecks like you got like 9 people in a 9-person jet.
You can't bring but one bag, y'all. It's got to be small. You can't bring but one bag. Why? Because I'm putting all y'all in this one little bit plane, and this is real world problems, right?
True story.
Oh yeah.
True
Yeah.
story.
But you can get on your plane.
So I got to tell you, in the last few years, we have occasionally been just me and my wife.
How
You know,
nice
my
is
wife.
that?
That's unbelievable.
It's so nice. Honey, you can bring all your bags.
So, Kaulig, he's impacted racing too. Not
Changing
just,
racing. If you talk to NASCAR right now, they'll tell you Matt
he's
Kaulig's
one of
changing
their-
it.
He's one of their heroes.
Yes, right now. Because he's a young owner. 49 years old. Getting ready to turn 50 this year. You know, big time money. And we go at it. Dude, we call it trophy hunting. Our slogan is we have fun and go trophy hunting. We're going they hate that because you're not supposed to have fun in a professional sport.
Who hates it?
Like the normal NASCAR people.
The normal people.
Right, like the normal
You
racers.
know, you know what that reminds me of, right? The normal insurance people.
Right, same thing.
Why are y'all throwing a party?
Right.
Why y'all act like it's fun?
Yeah.
Why do y'all act like it's something great to do? I think it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Why are you
fun.
doing all this social media getting on your plane? Because I'm going to show you that if you get in insurance, you can get a plane. If you work 24/7.
I just had a girl come in here. I met her on social media. Talked to her on Sunday for an hour. She was in my office, and she's headed to Buffalo to do a seminar for another thing she does. She's like, "Are you for real?"
So
I said, I'm for real.
do you talk on your social media? Do you do that? Like when people talk to you, say through Instagram. Do you?
Oh yeah.
So you've done something.
I just got a nice note. My little girl, she said, "Thank you for answering so many people back."
Yeah, I do the same thing. You've done something, and I said something to you, and it was like immediately you answered me back. I'm like, all right, he's got somebody running that because that was pretty doggone fast.
It's me and her.
Yeah,
It's
which
me
is
and her.
I have a guy that helps me.
And I've told her to hire another person now.
It's sales.
Huh?
It's sales. Social media sales.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, God, I don't have my phone with me, but one of my biggest partners in business, I was at, me and my wife were at the Lightning ice hockey game,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Andy Albright." I was like, oh no. You know, like, what is this? And he's like, "Hey, Jane." And Jane's like, "You know him?" I said, "Uh-uh." And he comes up and tells me his name, and he said, "I'm one of your partners." And I was like, "Give me a hug."
It's like,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
as in, I can't get over.
Same thing.
I can't get over it. But well, you're on TV and stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean,
walking through the garage, every racetrack I go to now. I go, "Hey, Chris, are you smiling?" Because that's what I say at the end of it. Go make somebody smile. I'm like, "I'm smiling." I can be the worst day ever, right? Like, yeah, I'm smiling. Dude, I've been watching you. I know you. And like they're watching you through your social media.
Yeah.
So they feel like they're part of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
they feel like they're part of you. And you,
Yeah.
when I meet
I want them to be.
I do too. When I meet them, I go take pictures with them. Some of my drivers ain't as popular as I am. And it's just because I love the people, right? I love them.
It exudes.
So, yeah, that's fun.
Well, bro,
Have
I
we
tell
been
you
through
what,
the longest? Is this
we
the
have-
longest podcast yet?
Yeah, they're probably going like, we're going home. We're gonna go home. Well, anything in the world I can do for you. I do want to meet
Matt.
Kaulig.
Yeah.
I want to meet him. I'm guessing race car. There's a season. Are we in season? Or
Yeah,
is there
so
any
we go
season
from
coming up?
February to November. Longest professional season in the world. But we don't have to meet there. He's coming down here to play golf at Alamance Country Club soon.
I want to play.
Yeah, so you can come play with us. We had his birthday party down here last year at the Country Club. We played, and then we went back to Cleveland Browns game. You can do all that with him. You can hang out. Like it's a fun time. He has a fun time. You need to meet him. Just he's such a good.
Does he do college, Akron?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's their biggest financial supporter.
Yeah.
Probably like you are at the
I'm going to
whatever
be.
them things.
I'm
are.
going to be the Wolfies.
Yeah, whatever
the
these
Wolfies.
Yeah, whatever these things are.
We were up there yesterday.
I'm a Tar Heel.
Do you like Tar Heels?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, just keep following me, and it'll
You'll change it.
You might get cured.
And I'm going to make you a
might
NASCAR
get
fan.
healed.
Like you keep following me, you're gonna be like, dude, I'm gonna watch this race. Everybody I've ever met, right? Like they've like, hey. So the coach at Elon, head football coach,
Yeah.
one of my best friends now,
Yeah.
never knew what NASCAR was. I went and spoke to his kids.
Now he's all in.
Dude, he texts me every race. He does this because I do a lot of motivational speaking, probably like you do. And I went and spoke to his kid last year. And
I can't, man. I mean, I can't wait now that I know somebody.
you'll watch it.
It
You're
makes
gonna
a world
watch
of
it.
difference.
Yeah, you're gonna get on there. You're gonna go. Saturdays are where we're top. I want to say top dogs in Saturdays races. Xfinity. Sundays we just started. This is our first year, and it takes. I mean, we're in a professional sport. You know how long it took Carolina Panthers to start winning.
Yeah.
Like we're in our first year. Like, and we're just rocking, right? Like we're just beating along. So, but Saturdays are good races. They're short races. They're fun. AJ Allmendinger's one of our guys. Daniel Hemrick and Landon Castle. We got cryptocurrency on one car. They don't pay us in crypto, but it's a app. And then we have Circle water bottles, which I gave you one.
I remember when y'all said, when NASCAR said we're going to take their money.
We did.
Because a lot of sports were not taking their money.
We took it.
Y'all were like, we'll take your money.
We'll take your money. Come on. So what they do is these crypto companies come in there.
Non-discriminatory moves like that.
Go
take
at it.
anybody's money.
Just take it all. And then I got him and I said, hey, you got to pay me in cash. Oh, you got to pay me in U.S. currency.
What'd he say?
It's okay.
I don't care.
No problem. They just bring it out they bring it out.
Chris, crazy nice meeting you. I'm glad we finally connected after you connected with my son Spencer. And so I think there's a couple things I want you to tell the audience.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to tell somebody, make sure you smile at somebody because you never know what people are going through. So if you smile at somebody, most than likely will change their day or their life. So make sure you follow me at C_Rice, C_Rice1, Twitter, Instagram, and you can go on my Facebook also. And I have a TikTok, and I think it's just Chris Rice, but it's a lot of fun over there. But didn't you have something to say?
I did. Please follow me. TikTok's blowing up for us, and it's Andy S. Albright. It's Andy Spencer Albright, Andy S. Albright. TikTok's blowing up. I love messaging people and getting messages and reading the messages. Instagram, Facebook, I don't know what all we're on. Google it. It's easy to find us. We love communicating, love helping people. I love to make people smile. And we say we're all about prosperity, inspiration, and eternity. Have fun, make money, and make a difference in people's lives.
Because you work 24/7, that's for sure.
I'm all about it, baby. I'm in it to win it.
In it to win
every day of the week.
Hey, we trophy hunt, so do you. Yes.
Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.